Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Herders. My name is Nick,
I'm Rich.
and today we're having a discussion.
We are.
So E3 has happened,
Mm-hmm.
and we have some housekeeping on that we need to get through, some stuff that we never got to talk about,
Yeah.
because we never really talked about the third parties, and maybe we'll even talk about what our most exciting moments of the show, game of the show, and maybe most disappointing aspect.
Sure. Some wrap-up
We'll see where
thoughts
we
and
go.
some final.
But let's start off with that third party stuff.
Okay.
What do you think?
So, first conference that went for the show, went for the convention, was the EA conference, which in my opinion was terrible.
It was pretty awful. And what made it awful, in my opinion, is not the games that they have or that they're promising, because a lot of them look really good.
Sure.
I mean, like Battlefield 1 looks great. All of the games that they were able to show stuff from, and even like the Star Wars montage that they gave us, the few seconds of footage that you could have gained.
EA was very good about those, about showing us a lot without showing us a damn thing.
It all looks good, but that's the problem. They didn't show us anything. They didn't tell us anything. They didn't give us anything that we don't know.
And this is like the third year of them doing it for a lot of these games.
Right.
Okay, so it opened up with Titanfall 2, which comes out on October 28th of this year.
Looks cool. I'm excited as a campaign.
Looks really cool. Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot now that it's over on PlayStation. And then they immediately jumped into kind of Madden, but mostly esports. And it was this long, just dead stop for the conference, esports, and these players and this player. Let's cut to London and we'll talk about American football and let's do this. And
the thing with that stuff is it's a waste of time, because that stuff sells regardless of what any of us think about it. There's no point. You're doing that for nobody. It sells every year.
But and they're really, they do a lot of the stuff, they are press conferences, so this is trying to get the attention of bigger outlets. But who's writing about esports? I don't think big outlets are going, here's the esports. Are they?
I mean, esports is a huge business that is booming. Like the Wall Street Journal has like a video game writer now. But it's pointless. It's pointless to spend so much time covering it. It's pointless to spend so much time showing us the FIFA story.
Well, see, that's actually, I thought that looked kind of cool. Like, I don't care about FIFA, but like
it's not going to be as detailed as you would hope.
I'm not going to play the game, but the game I think looks like it could be a good game. And that's an interesting aspect they've put into this game.
It just probably won't deliver. Like the last NBA 2K game had a whole story mode directed by Spike Lee, and it's small, it's meaningless, it's not good. It's going to be the same thing, probably.
But they came out and they did Mass Effect, which I know you were really excited about. And they came out and were like, here's Mass Effect, and we're going to show you this brief thing, and we'll have more for you in the fall. And it was a bunch of, I don't even say cutscenes, just images of space and talking about like a dev diary about talking
creators
about
like designing it on their
the same stuff they've shown for the last 2 years.
We got to see, some more of the Krogan, to know that he's probably going to be like your companion and thing, like really heavily involved, like one of the three you'd have on your team. You get to see a new Asari, you get to see the new ship more from the outside. It's very limited stuff, and I talked about this when we were talking about, I think, Nintendo. Like, it's stuff that even images of it excites me because of how much I love the trilogy. And I'm excited to get back into that world, and I don't need anything else to be excited. But what I did want, and I didn't get, was any information. Like, come give me a date. And what worries me is this game, I feel like I've been waiting for another Mass Effect for a long time, because I have. And then I was expecting to get it this year. It got pushed. That was a shame. And they said, probably we were expecting somewhere like March of next year. And at this point, what I'm worried about is that it is not even close.
I doubt it.
At like next holiday.
Because what's weird is if it was supposed to be this year and now they've pushed it to next year, and you have nothing to show from this game, I really don't think it's going to be like, then why even spend the time to do it if you have nothing to show?
Because you have to.
I guess. Then show us something.
I mean, that's kind of the moral of the entire story. Like, at the end of the day, EA probably should have not shown anything.
No, I don't think they even needed a conference.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been there.
No, there was no need for the. But then, okay, so then we saw FIFA, which I'm not going to play. You're not going to play. People love FIFA though, and the story mode, could be interesting. You
They just
don't
don't
give a
need
shit.
it. I mean,
And then they jumped into EA Originals, which is their like indie, program where they try to spotlight indie games and help indie developers create games and fun games stuff, which is a cool thing.
which
you
they
know,
did
it's-
last year with Unravel. And
it's the-
everybody got really excited about Unravel, and then nobody played Unravel.
Yeah,
Really,
and they're getting a sequel to Unravel though.
because everybody bought it and nobody played it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I started it. I'm like 3 levels in. I haven't gone back to it since.
Because it's just okay.
Yeah, it's
right?
fine. I enjoyed what I played with it, but it's not amazing. It's not the game everybody wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is their thing to go, oh, look, we're not just a big company that makes these big budget games. Look, we're helping out indies. We're doing this, which is great. I think that they showed this game Fey, whatever. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
It's
I
F-E.
think it's Faye.
I think it looks cool. I know you're kind of lukewarm on it.
I don't know. I thought that a lot of the reaction, like if you went on Twitter, people are like, "This looks really cool," yourself included, but a lot of people.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just kind of like, I don't think it looks that great. And I think that some of this was just because everything else was so underwhelming. It was finally something that was just sort of interesting, and so in comparison, it looked really interesting. I honestly, I nothing about that grabbed me.
Okay. And then they jumped into Star Wars, which was like, here's all the Star Wars partnerships
And they
we
bring
have.
whatever her name is, Jace Diamond or whatever the hell her name is, from.
Sounds like a stripper.
No, I don't know what the hell.
On the EA stage
something-
tonight.
And she comes out, and we're like, all right, you're gonna at least give us some details.
Yeah.
And then she tells us exactly what we've known for weeks. or
Everything
months
they
on
said
end.
was everything that we've known.
I think that the only part that was sort of new knowledge from like a month ago was that the dude from the God of War developer who left was doing a Star Wars game. And
Yeah.
like she said that, but we knew that, and it wasn't a leak. Like
Yeah.
we knew it.
It was
But
cool
it
to
was
see,
sort of new.
see Amy Hennig talk a little bit about it, but she didn't say anything. What we did see, though, was like a 3 seconds of her game, which looks gorgeous.
And also appeared to not be Han Solo.
Yeah.
Which
It-
is what everybody assumed the game was.
And they kind of come out and said, in our games, they don't have to adhere to the Star Wars stories. They can be brand new stories and side stories and everything else happening. So that some of that stuff was cool.
And
But it was a long thing of dev diaries talking about, we're excited to be working on Star Wars. Look at us drawing. Look at us designing. And they didn't show anything
is
other than the Amy Hennig
it was
stuff.
exactly what we got 2 years before from DICE about Battlefront. When everybody wanted Battlefront footage, we didn't get Battlefront footage. We got people saying that they love Star Wars.
Yeah.
We love Star Wars too.
Good for
And now
you.
we
That's
got-
why you're making the game. So give us the game.
I think I can't remember his name, but the God of War guy, when it was announced that he was leaving, he was joining them doing a Star Wars game. The assumption was that it would in some way be like a Jedi game because it was
Yeah,
gaming
they
and
showed
game.
some motion
and,
capture
and
back.
so exactly right after he talked, we saw some motion capture that was clearly Jedi's fighting. So we're gonna get like the lightsaber game, which is awesome, and we're also getting, her game, which
Yeah, and
Bounty
Battlefront
Hunter,
2, she
whatever it
kind
is.
of mentions what it is.
Battlefront 2, we did learn some details. It's coming next year.
Yeah, which we all
There's another-
assumed anyway, which
another
I think they
studio
talked about.
helping out with that, and they have said already, they didn't mention in this that it will have single player.
Yeah.
So
Again, all stuff that we knew.
it's all exciting. The few snips that we saw look great, but it just wasn't enough.
Well,
This wasn't enough to drive the heart of your conference.
I don't remember if it was you I was talking to or somebody else where I was like, I think the best tweet I saw about this was, do you like Star Wars? Yeah, you like Mass Effect? Yeah. Well, here's sports.
Yeah,
Like it was all just like,
the bulk of what they showed.
here's this
was
stuff that
sports
we
stuff.
love. You guys love it too. Cool. We'll see you later. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But then
What
they
else
showed
did they show?
then they closed with Battlefront
Oh, yeah.
or Battlefield 1,
Battlefield 1.
which looks
Which
really
looks great,
cool.
but we've
October
already seen-
21st.
We've already seen a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So that was EA. And then Bethesda.
Yeah.
It was-
We should fly through them a little.
Yeah. So they showed Quake. It's been working on Quake Champions, which is a PC only exclusive arena shooter thing.
It's cool that Quake's back, I guess. It's not a game that I have a lot of like fond memories of, but it is a game that was always there, omnipresent in our youth. People got excited that it was back.
What this gives me hope for is then they would eventually bring a full Quake game.
They probably will, but this thing doesn't sound like it's for me.
No. We talked about Elder Scrolls Legends. I think that's some card game bullshit.
Woo!
Wasn't that what that was?
Yeah.
That was a trade. Okay. And then Fallout 4, we got new DLC coming. Contraptions, Vault Tech. And these are all like the build your shelter stuff. You can now build your own vault in Fallout. Which, okay, I guess is kind of cool, but that was one of the worst. Building stuff was like the worst part of that
Fallout
game.
VR only on the Vive, right?
I think they just said it was coming to the Vive. I don't think they said it was exclusive to the Vive.
I heard a lot of people say like the game.
They said it would be Vive 2017.
Right, but it's somebody brought up a good point. Like the game doesn't even run properly on PS4. Let's not try and VR it. And
they also announced Nuka World, which is either going to be building a Nuka World or hopefully getting missions from a separate section that they build. I don't know. I know you're not super into Fallout, so I won't go to. Skyrim Remastered, which is called Skyrim Special Edition, October 28th.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. See, I'm going to get this game before the end of the year. I'm not going to get this game in October. There's enough awesome shit coming out in October. But I never played Skyrim.
I didn't either. So this is
jumping on point.
Yeah, I think so too. Then they reintroduced Prey, which I think looks really cool.
Yeah, maybe.
I haven't played the original Prey, but from what I saw here, I was like, wow, okay, I'm really into this.
Maybe.
Doom multiplayer DLC is coming. I love Doom. I don't really care about the multiplayer, although they did say they kind of admitted recently, the problems with their multiplayer and that they were going to take control of it. So maybe this is a step in that direction. Elder Scrolls Online stuff, don't care. Then they talked about VR. And this is where they said Doom is going to be a VR experience where you can explore hell. It won't be Doom playable in VR. It will be you exploring the world of Doom in VR. And then they showed Fallout 4, which they just said Vive 2017 because it won't be exclusive because on Xbox's conference talking about the Scorpio, Todd Howard's there and talks about Fallout in VR. So I imagine it'll be whatever Microsoft ends up doing. Then they showed Dishonored 2, and that's going to be November 11th. I didn't play the first one, but I think it looks really cool.
I didn't like it at all.
Really?
No.
There were, you didn't like what they showed of it, or you didn't like the first Dishonored?
No, I never played Dishonored.
Okay.
I didn't like what they showed.
I think it went too long.
It went way too long. At the wrong part of the conference
to
me. I understand why this looks cool to people. I understand why it looks cool to you. It didn't grab me at all.
I was on the fence, and then they showed that time travel component where she's going through the house, and you're have your visor up, and you can switch between times and to help.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of that doesn't look like something I want to do for an entire game. It's just not for me. A lot of Bethesda stuff is not for me. The only stuff really, I can't wait to play Doom eventually. And
are you going to get the demo? Okay.
I'll just get the game when I get it.
One thing you do like about Bethesda, though,
right,
which was teased at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we didn't mention. So at the very beginning of the Bethesda conference, there was an old, almost DOS screen up, and as they were punching in to start the conference, and this thing scrolls by, and it lists a bunch of their games. And it was the original Wolfenstein, and then Wolfenstein 3D, Wolfenstein New Order, Old Blood, Wolfenstein New Colossus.
Or just New Colossus.
Or I think it just said New Colossus, and then Doom 1, Doom 2, and then Doom 4. Or Doom 3, and then Doom, or whatever it's called. And they all had release dates by them except New Colossus. Yeah. It had a bunch of stars. So, and then on the IGN stream, they brought the PR, I can't remember the PR gentleman's name, who did most of the conference. And they're like, hey, we saw this New Colossus. What do you think about that? And he's like, that's weird. So potentially the new Wolfenstein is going to be called New Colossus.
Yeah, and if it's a nice little cheeky way to announce it.
To kind of give
it, make it a little thing just for people to find, even though it was found very quickly.
Yeah.
It suggests though that it's years away.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And then we had Ubisoft, which now did you watch Ubisoft or no?
No, but I watched footage of the stuff that sounded interesting. I've seen all of that stuff by now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I was at work or something, and I kept seeing tweets wow, this is going on a really long time.
It was 2 hours. It was
Most
2
of these for
hours
reference
long.
are an hour.
Yeah, Microsoft is an hour and a half, and Sony's usually runs long, but Sony's this year was an hour. Jesus, we're having trouble with our beer this week.
You said Sony. It got excited.
Yeah. So it kicked off with this weird dance number, and it was like a Just Dance thing, which she then said will be coming to all consoles, including NX. So
That's good.
it's nice to start hearing that
was
name.
one of the only early third-party developers to jump on the Wii U, and they jump ship.
And then they quickly
because
ship.
To be fair, their games that they did, some of which were inventive, like Zombie U, did not sell.
Yeah, because no one bought the Wii U.
Right, so they understandably left. But it's nice that they're going to support Nintendo Attempt 2 again.
Yeah. And then they showed Ghost Recon, which I had no interest in, but I thought this looks really cool.
And I've always liked the Ghost Recon games.
And then they got to what my favorite part of the conference was, South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
Yeah. The Fractured But Whole.
Whole, yes. Which I think sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything they like. I was into this game before what they showed, and then what they showed, I was like, I'm sold. December 6th, it's coming out. So if you played The Stick of Truth, that was the kids playing. It was an RPG, kids playing like a fantasy type game.
Right.
And now Fractured But Whole. Now you played Stick of Truth, right?
No, I bought Stick of Truth the week before my 360 shit the bed, and I have not played. It's not backwards compatible, but now.
Now, if you pre-order the Fractured But Whole,
you little 360,
you get a new version of.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order this game for. I think I might actually just. I'm not gonna get the collector's edition. I might actually just pre-order this game digitally and get Stick of Truth on PS4 right now.
But yeah, so this is their take on the superhero genre. So it's the next day after the Stick of Truth, and you're still playing the new kid on the block or whatever, and not Donnie Wahlberg, but a new kid. And now they're suddenly playing superheroes, and the whole thing is like a send up of what the superhero movies have become. And this is their, as they call it, like their civil war. It's the Fractured But Whole. It's them going. It's these fun jokes at how they're going to build their franchises. Okay, we're going to do the Coon movie, and then we're going to do this movie, and then this person's going to get their movie, and then we're going to team up, and then this one's going to get a second movie. I think it looks awesome. I'm excited. I'm going to get that collector's edition. I want that Cartman figure.
It's really cool.
If I didn't have the Stick of Truth one, I probably wouldn't. But I have the Cartman Grand Wizard. I kind of want the Coon to go with him.
It's fair.
Then they showed some VR stuff. None of it. They showed something, and then they showed Star Trek. Some Eagle game.
Yeah, I watched the Star Trek stuff. As I've talked about, big fan of the franchise, and I was like, that could be really cool. It was unimpressive.
Yeah,
honestly, it
like
look great.
they were talking about how good the graphics.
They brought LeVar Burton out, which is always cool. But
well, it was cool to have him on, but they had this really well produced video of all like Star Trek actors from different iterations of the franchise. So LeVar Burton was there, Carl Urban was there, and a couple other people were there, all playing the game, and then having them talk about it. And so, this is how cool it was. And then they brought LeVar Burton out, and he talked about the same stuff he talked about in the video. I was like, what? You don't need this. So let's hit some of this other stuff real quick. For Home, I don't remember what that was. Grow Up, which is the Grow Home sequel. Trials of the Blood Dragon, which is a blend of Trials and Blood Dragon, which I thought looked fine. I haven't played either.
Not interested.
They talked a bunch about the Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah. Could have saved that.
Yeah. Watch Dogs 2, which looks cool.
Watch Dogs 2 I'm excited for.
I'm definitely interested in playing that. Then they closed with a really weird closer. Oh, then they like randomly threw in that we're doing a Watch Dogs movie.
Yeah.
And then they closed with...
Not for us. This next game, not for us.
They closed with a game called Steep, which is like a GoPro open adventure sports game on snow. I don't know.
Not for us.
But it went for like 15 minutes.
Forever.
Yeah, it just kept going. I was like, why would you close with this?
Nah, I remember because there was rumors or there was word. Somebody recently was talking about how they remembered that at one point Ubisoft said that they were doing something like this. And so then, like, it actually sounded kind of cool to me when I heard about this, like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And so I went and I watched this footage, and I was like, That's not for me.
No.
It's not for me at all.
So those were our 3
third-party
ones.
And then we've already talked about Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Yeah, you can go back and watch
those videos.
They're all there. YouTube.com/overabeer. They're all up there. Where we go really in depth with what we liked and didn't like from those conferences.
So let's talk about then. Again, we weren't at E3. So
No.
we didn't get to play the hands-on demos,
Sure.
but we've watched a lot of gameplay stuff. We've seen all the conferences and all the footage and heard all the developers.
Yes.
So from that, what would you say is the number one thing that you are most excited about coming out of this?
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Had it not been for that, it would probably be Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon looks great.
But I've loved everything I've seen of Horizon Zero Dawn. I still love everything I'm seeing. The more I see of it, the more I'm excited for it and to see what you can do in that game. But seeing that Zelda footage, like, I was just in awe watching it. And I would take that over Horizon. That is my most anticipated game.
Yeah. Super excited for Zelda. If you go back and watch our Nintendo discussion, which we just had like last night, we haven't talked about this more. One thing that I said I wasn't going to do, I said I wasn't going to watch more footage.
Mm-hmm.
I did. This morning I was
did
like,
too.
this morning I was like, I was eating breakfast. I was trying to find something else to watch. Nothing else on YouTube was grabbing my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so like IGN had like 25 minutes of footage, and I was like, all right, I'll just throw this on. It does look, it looks awesome, but there was just, I hope that there are things about it that are still fixed in the next 8 months. Like they're running around the world, and as like they get to like things and they turn the thing, you can see things like popping up because they're getting added into
Sure.
and like I want it to just be full.
Well, I think part of
you come off of playing something like Uncharted 4, where it's all there, it's all perpetually loaded.
I think part of that comes from one, we still have 8 months.
Yes.
Two,
and the limitations of the Wii U.
Yes, the limitations of the Wii U.
Maybe
I feel like the
won't
NX,
have that.
and that's part of the reason that they've pushed is they can get more out of this game on the NX. They've said the experiences will be the same, but
those are things that could be
that's something that
different. It's
yes,
still there in bold.
It's still the same experience.
It's already loaded.
But it's going to look a little bit better. I have a feeling that's going to be part of it.
There's just little things like that where I was like, all right, fix that please though, because we're kind of getting what we've always dreamed of.
Well, they said something like that. I don't remember if it was on Nintendo, because Brian Altano did a Nintendo or a Zelda interview, and then the guys at Kind of Funny did a Let's Play. And I can't remember which one said it, but they were like walking towards something, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's a chest over there." When the Wii U loads it, and they as they got closer, then it finally popped.
Yeah.
But
I just want that to get fixed. I'm super excited for Zelda. I'm really excited for a lot of the stuff that we saw. A lot of contenders. Horizon really does look really good.
Yeah. The more I see that, the more I'm just...
But what I will give it to is still, like, I think the number one moment, because we didn't totally know it was coming, and it just looks so fucking cool, Spider-Man.
Ooh,
I'm so excited by the promise of Spider-Man, and I know that it is a year and a half away. Probably. Maybe more. I'm expecting it'll be a next holiday.
Yeah, I could see it being a fall
we'll see
2017.
more gameplay, actual gameplay and stuff.
I would imagine they want it out in time or around the movie's release.
Yeah, I think it'll be out next year, at some point. But I mean, it was such a cool moment in the theater. We saw the stream in the theater, but like watching the thing.
He crashes through that cafe and jumps and jumps
so
and jumps,
cool.
and he starts
Jumps
swinging
goes on top of the thing, pulls the guy out of the SUV, swings off somewhere else. It's so perfect looking, and you think about what that could be in 2017. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm super excited for Zelda, but all of my excitement for Zelda is still hinges on what is the NX.
Yeah, see, I would be okay playing it on my Wii U.
I probably would too, but I want the NX to immediately out the gate have this as my launch title game.
It should
lead
be.
me into everything else.
It needs to be.
Super excited. Everything is cool. So much. Most disappointing thing? Do you have one? I would have to really think about it.
Yeah, there was I mean, There's a lot of great things, but there's a lot of just stuff I'm like, this is not.
I guess I was kind of really disappointed by a lot of even what really looked really cool, just having no clue when we're going to see it. Like, that was the one thing that we said about the Sony stuff. Like, early on, there was like God of War 4 and
there's all these great things, but there aren't dates on any of them,
nothing
which is fair because Uncharted 4 they gave a date, got delayed. There's something else that just Horizon that was supposed to come out this year.
No Man's Sky, Mighty Number 9.
So
Cuphead. It keeps happening. And
so it's better, I think, for them to just
say nothing,
and then when they know for sure this is when it's happening, then they put a date out.
I just really wish that I feel like back in the day, E3 really was. This is the conference that's going to show you what the rest of this year is going to be. Leading you through the holiday season, telling all the retailers why they should be excited, telling all of us why we should be excited for that year. Mm-hmm. And I wish it would just go back.
But it's changed because of the way now we can communicate with them.
I just wish that it wasn't.
You know, that's why Nintendo stopped, is they can control the message better, and they have a platform to come to us and say, hey,
give me empty promises, Nintendo. Come back to E3.
Maybe next year. The NX will be out, and there's the perfect time for them to come back out and say, great, you've had the NX for X months. People seem to love it. We sold this many. Here is the lineup for the rest of the year. Boom, 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 boom. And then they just knock it out of the park then.
I hope so. I want to see them out there again.
One thing I wanted to talk about that broke today, we talked on the Xbox One about the Project Scorpio versus the Xbox One Slim and blah, 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 blah. Something Phil Spencer came out and said that basically, if you don't have a 4K TV, there's no point in you buying the Project Scorpio.
Yep.
Which is, he said the whole point of that console is to be designed as a 4K console and for 4K TVs. So that pretty much solidified me getting an Xbox One S.
There you go.
Because I don't have a 4K TV. I don't know when I'll get a 4K TV.
I won't have one of those for a minimum of 3 years.
Yeah, there's no point.
There's no point.
So that was, some people were worried about, should I get Scorpio? And he basically said, if you don't have a 4K TV, then you should buy and you're looking to buy an Xbox, then you should get the Xbox One S.
So do it.
So that's my plan.
Cool. So there we go.
So overall, good E3.
Yeah, real good.
Yeah.
Real strong lineup. There's other games that we didn't even talk about that I'm surprised. Telltale's Batman.
That looks really cool.
Fucking wait.
I've never played a Telltale game, but I would
hearing some of these people like Greg Miller talk about Arkham VR.
Oh man.
I'm like, I gotta play that. I gotta
time to get that PlayStation VR.
I'm not gonna pay $400 for a 1 hour.
Maybe I'll let you come over and you can play.
All right, that works.
Lego Dimension stuff has all been really cool. Yes. I know you're bummed, but we haven't talked about it yet. So I got to get out my excitement, because that was one of my predictions, is some cool Lego Dimension stuff, and we got some really fucking cool Lego Dimension stuff. Gremlins, Goonies, Sonic, Powerpuff Girls, A-Team, Adventure Time, Mission Impossible.
So
it's like 18 or 20 new franchises they're adding, I think, into this game.
Yep. So I don't know how you're gonna afford all these other games.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Start selling my organs. I don't need 2 kidneys.
No. All right, so that's gonna do it. A lot of cool stuff. You tweeted a lot during E3.
I did.
Some people missed it. Where could they have read that?
You could have read that on my Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer, Instagram over_a_beer, and youtube.com/overabeer. Where every Tuesday we are now posting full-length beer reviews, and every Friday at soundcloud.com/overabeer. We are posting the Over a Beer podcast, so you can check that out there as well. Hopefully soon iTunes as well, but we're working on it. That'll wrap things up for this segment, though. So until next time, drink up.
Butter me up.